Testing. Can you hear? Hello, hello. We have a live stream started up. Do you guys hear me? Do you hear everything? Is it okay? All right, good. Welcome to a new live stream. My name is John Skippy Limcool. Using a new computer. Yay, new computer. There shouldn't be any background hum. I turned the AC off so it's quiet. It's totally quiet. Even my computer, the studio, is so silent anymore that I don't hear it. So, my goodness, where do we start? There is a lot to show you guys today. Yes, so this is using a new computer. I have a Mac Studio. Let me check the display. Let's see here. That's not quite right. Let's get Unify a little bit smaller. Fit into the spot it's supposed to. I need to get a second monitor. I don't have this all totally sussed out quite yet. So let's see, let's come over here and shrink this down just a little bit. Skippy doesn't need to be that big in the picture. There, that's better. So, let's see, where do we start? My gosh, there is so much to cover today. My head's just... Yes, so we're going to talk for a minute about what I'm working with. This is a new beta version of Unify that we'll be making available soon. I don't know the exact date, just because, let's see here if I can figure out. I have my microphones hanging over here. Let me get this a little bit closer. And, yeah. That's all right, you don't see the microphone. I gotta turn off the streaming here so that I don't see the repeat, but there's some cool things that we are adding. Well, not cool, but necessary, let's just say. So, we found that, believe it or not, different Apple computers work in different ways, and when calling up on a Mac Studio, Unify behaved not as well as it should compared to on what Shane has, which is a Mac Mini. And it turns out that the new processors in these computers do things a little bit differently, and so we're working to tame it so that when you call up an init patch, when we first started working a couple days ago, Shane and myself and the Mac Studio, this was just like freaking out. I mean, the CPU usage was through the roof for it just sitting there doing nothing. There's something about there's the processors and the priorities and the threads and all that stuff that Shane has a good handle on. There's still a little bit more work to do before we release it, but pretty soon we're going to be releasing an update which has this update. The other thing that we have done that is really interesting is that let's put it this way. When you're running in native mode, I'm running right now Unify in native. For those of you that work, and you sometimes are in native, sometimes you need to be in Rosetta mode. I don't know if you know this, but you can make duplicates of an application, and then what you do is this. Let's go over here, show to Finder. I have 2 copies of Unify, right? There's Unify, and then there's Unify R. And what you do for the R version is you turn on, I don't even have it turned on, silly me. Turn on with Rosetta, and that way when it powers up, it runs with Rosetta mode, which makes it so that it will load Rosetta-based plugins. Otherwise, it's not supposed to do that. The basic rule of thumb is when you're running in Rosetta, you have access to plugins that haven't been optimized and turned into a native Mac silicone version. Turns out Shane did a little, science work and figured out how even if we are running Unify in, we're right now in Rosetta mode, which means I can go to any plugin like, say, Native Instruments Kontakt and load it, and it will load, but it's in Rosetta mode because let's see if we go over here to a plugin that's made native. I wonder if that works differently. Let's say that we go to like, well, I know Serum for sure is, shows the same. Okay, so, but check this out. When you go to native mode and you're using where now it needs to be a native silicone-based computer, right? So it's, it won't load unless it's a native program. Well, all of Native Instruments plugins are not native. Not yet. Not even Kontakt. The version of Kontakt I have is not native. But check this out. When you load now, even as a VST3, we hijacked the technology that Apple developed for audio units to do this auto conversion to Rosetta. And we're now doing that inside of Unify for any plugin format. So VST2 and VST3. Right now, this version of Unify, I have only VST2 and VST3 plugins in here. And you see the little bracket around it. That means we have a little secret sauce going on in the background to load up any plugin, even if it's not in the native silicone mode when you're working in native mode, because native things work more efficiently for things that have actually written for native, right? It has been found to be more efficient. But there are times where it'd be nice if you had all your Native Instruments plugins, right? And the main reason we did this is for all of the plugins that we've done and made unified libraries. My massive power pack and the FMA power packs now work. Even in native mode, they will load up FM8 in Rosetta, but using this hijack of technology that we're doing. So it's working. So everything works. I can go to massive. And again, loads up massive. I could go to any plugin that isn't available in native that I own, and that's a VST or VST3. Audio units in the background, Apple does this shuffling between native and silicone, native and Rosetta mode. Yes, the plugins work fine, but they have to run in Rosetta mode. You have to run Unify in Rosetta mode. If you run Unify and you like I showed you, in the Finder for Unify, you get information on a Mac, right? On a Mac silicone. Older Mac that are not silicone, that are Intel based, you don't have any of these challenges to deal with. But over here in Mac silicone land, we're working to get things to be a little bit smoother working. You can use Rosetta mode, and then all of your plugins, whether they're native or not, will work. But when you go to running it and you're not telling Unify to be in native mode, like if I go, let's see, then it would just use Rosetta, right? So it would still load because there is that security blanket of Rosetta in the background. But this allows you to run native and still load and use Rosetta for certain plugins that you don't have an audio unit version for. Again, the main reason for this is so that all of our libraries, the Razor libraries, they work. Now we can call up Reactor, even though Reactor is not native. There it is, So it's a cool thing in the update. So we'll be releasing that later this week. For those of you that are on newer Apple computers, it's a nice thing. For everybody else, it's not anything beyond what you can do already. So it's not like we're adding new features globally or anything like that at this point. We're just trying to get Unify working on all current platforms as well as we can. Oh, good. I'm glad this helps for some of you guys. Yeah, we favor the VST-VST3 because audio units are only for a Mac. So if I made a library and saved it with audio units, then anybody on a PC can't load those patches. So with this mode, with VST-VST3, the libraries are still able to be used. You can still go to libraries for plugins that aren't, like even the Noir library, which again is Kontakt. They say that it's Apple Silicon. By the way, there's a really cool plugin application called Plug-Info that you can buy for $2.99 on the App Store for your computer. And it will go through and look at every one of your plugins, where they're at, whether they're VST, VST3, audio unit, and the information, whether they are Apple and Intel 64. The Apple part means it's compatible with ARM, the new technology. If it says Intel 64, all the Native Instruments ones are Intel 64 only. That means all of these are unable to be used on a native application. If you run Logic without it turning into Rosetta mode, none of your Native Instruments stuff loads unless it uses Rosetta. Okay? So this application is really helpful to let you see that Roland's, they haven't updated their plugins. Many people have. It's amazing how many companies have updated. Cthulhu hasn't been updated yet, but that's a MIDI effect, so that's not necessarily so critical compared to some other plugins. But even Pigments, some of their stuff has been, but not all of it has been converted into ARM support. So we're learning about this. This is kind of like I have this computer for the purpose of being in the modern era with modern computers, so I can make sure Unify is working and other things that was happening in the background that we're working on work, right? So, oh, hey, since Jason is saying that, let's start with some information from Jason, because Jason has a new library I'm going to show you guys that's available for Omnisphere that's not out in the public yet. People don't know about this yet. If we come over here to my notes, I can, right here, this is a library called Complexity. And so sometimes you don't want complexity, but other times complexity is okay, right? So here, let's go view, turn that off. I'm using my iPad over here on the side as my second monitor in case you're curious what's going on. Let's see, view. No, I don't want to show bookmarks. I always show tools bars. I'm on this window, right? I don't want to. Huh? Okay, well, it does that for one window, but it won't for the other. Well, anyway, whatever. You can see my bookmark list. I don't mind sharing that with you. But anyway, Rocky Mountain Sounds Complexity is right here. And I have a promo code that Jason gave me that you can get this for $20. You can save an additional $5 on this library. Yeah, we don't need that information. Let me give you the promo code is UNI5. UNI and the number 5. That will save. So if you add to cart, and let's see if I can do this so you can see what's going on. View cart. If you go to your enter coupon code and you go UNIF5 and apply, this will cut $5 off from the price of this library. And it is a 1 gigabyte library with a lot of rhythmic and cool sounds. Let me put the link. Let's see here. If I go here, here is the link for the library. I'll put it into our chat. It's kind of fun to do this with an iPad. I've been streaming, switch to the new Apple chips since I have third-party plugins which won't work in native mode. Does Rhoda add additional latency? No, it doesn't add latency, but there are some cases where the Rosetta plugins use a little bit more CPU power than the native optimized for ARM version will. But from my testing so far, I haven't found any that are like, oh my gosh, this is way, you know, these processors are so powerful and so capable. I think you'll be fine. That's not an issue for and again, I'm using the story goes like this. I got an Apple Studio, and this is the base model with just the M1 Max, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. Any kind of customization that I wanted to do to it gave it 90 days before it would show up. And Shane's working on the software, and I need to test it. I'm the most in-depth beta tester Plugin Guru has for software. And so I took a chance and bought the computer, even though it wasn't totally the spec I want. You can get crazy, crazy fast external SSDs for storing up data. 500 gigabytes isn't ideal. I wish it was bigger for the system hard drive, but I think it will still work for me. I'm going to try to make it work. But it's really helped us to have this to test and find these things that we found out with how things work. So I think you'll be pretty happy with it. The boot time for the Mac Studio is stupid fast. It's like seconds. You turn it off, you turn it on, and all of a sudden you're ready to work within seconds. It's shockingly fast. Anyway, let's go over here to RMS Complexity. He has unified this whole library, so all 371 patches are available out of the box in Unify format for you to play with. There's all sorts of really, really cool sounds. Again, the concept is complexity, so this is not where you're going to necessarily find simple things. Things have motion, a little bit more going on sonically. Sonic stuff for a little motion stuff going on. I mean, Jason knows what he's doing, so there is a ton of really fun Mark, it's time to upgrade. The power is crazy. I mean, you will not believe what you can do. Also, there's really cool textures in this. Like some of these are multis it's calling up, so some of these it's cinematic in nature, but it has all sorts of other sides. It's got some really cool guitars. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Two is Luna Stations. Just a flamenco guitar. Okay, yeah. There's drum hits, textures, all sorts of BPM drums. These multis with drums are cool. Really, really fun stuff. Let's see some other things in here. Hi, Tom. And again, since it's a unified library, that means you can go over here to Unify Layer. Let's add a kick. Let's add, maybe some toms. And a snare, and since it's Unify, you can go over here and say, I want to add something like a dynamic pump house. When something is really busy, this is a really cool trick. You can take and create a square wave like this. And maybe we'll invert it because I want it to be silent and then pop up for the second half. So we're going to go like this to about this. And then it comes up. So now, maybe cut it in halftime. You can also do things where you like create like a little start part. And if some part's too busy, open this up. Oh, it still says default patch for it, but you can go to the library itself. This is RL down here in complexity, and go to the BPM drums and find a different kick pattern. And oh, I'm on part 2. Go to part 1. Sorry. Part 2 is not even playing, right? So RMS complexity, BPM drum, there it is. And since it's a unified layer, I can just open this up. And it's the snare part if I want to change. You know, so there's all sorts of fun stuff. I'm not going to do a complete walkthrough. There's video walkthroughs coming if Jason hasn't done them yet. It's a new library. It's not even out to the masses yet. So you guys are learning about this for the first time that I know of right here, right now. So that is our first library on the list. Wait a few more days. Mac Pro, Apple Silicon, maybe. Yeah, that's right. There is on the 7th, I believe, a Apple thing. I think it's mostly phones and watches at this event. So they have another one that talks, I think there's one in October coming. So anyway, so I have so many things to show you guys. Number one, what I wanted to show you since Jason popped up in the list is this. And yeah, Jason's libraries are great, creative. There's a massive list of sounds used in this library, all taken from his various, if you read on the webpage where the source for this library came from, it's complex stuff from his synthesizers. So it has all sorts of fun stuff inside of it. Using his Matrix Brute. Very, very cool. So it's a great library for $20 if you own Omnisphere and you want some inspiration. Boom. All right, so next up I have a cool new plugin to show you guys. My friend Ayal, boy, how do you describe Ayal? He lives in the Middle East. I think he lives. Is it? I don't want to say where he lives. I'm not positive, totally sure. But he is a super talented person. He's been behind a lot of Wave software plugins. He's worked with Steve Duda at Extra Records on some things. And he started his own company called Melodics. And their first plugin is now available. It's called Beat Scholar. And this is for rhythm. And it's rather insane for rhythm because, as you can see, each one of these little pizza areas can be different time signatures. And these little pizza squares, if you hold down a number button, you can like turn this into pizza slices of whatever complexity that you want. Down here are the different samples used to make a pattern. So if let's do this. Let me show you some of the grooves, and then I'll show you how we build stuff in here. It's really, really fun. So basically you have these pizza slices, and it plays. Let me go over here to tempo and if you want to add a part, maybe I want to add this and I want to change this to be a different sound. And let's see, it's got all sorts of there's something going on for quantizing it. Cut off crush. Here we go. Let's say we want to use this sound and we want to take the pitch up and the levels all the way up at max, I think. If I click right here, I can click even in different places. It doesn't have to be on one grid like most drum machines. And if you hold down your number slider, you can open this into slices so that now you can like add more here. Right? So you can get into crazy programming. Here, let me show you some of the patterns. So 9/8, no problem. I don't know why it's doing this where it repeats the first measure twice. I don't know if I have some setting somewhere on it, but so any time signature you want, if I want this to be a different time signature, 12/8, boom, done. It's that easy to make multiple time signature pieces, add extra measures, make it, yeah. So if those of you that are into multiple time signatures and stuff, it's really, really fun to have pizza slices for your rhythm. And you can zoom in if you need to get into more intricate detail with the different slices. If you want to, you know, you hold down a number sign to turn this into a whole bunch of slices like this, you need to zoom in so you can see all the slices available, so that way you can like program. So it's definitely a different concept for rhythm, and I think it's really, really cool, and one that you should check out if you want more information. It is the link to Melodics right here. This is a $99 plugin that you can pick up for $79 right now. So say new, paste. Here's Melodics. And information on here, there's videos, new way to compose rhythms, slices of pizza. They call it pizza slices, which is cute. So you can divide it into little pieces. Each piece can have its own velocity settings and so forth like that. There's room to add new things to this, but here's Eyal, and Or is his partner. Really both two great guys. They're very, very talented. Lots you can do with this. So check this out at modolics.com if you want more information on it. Is it possible to make 3/4 mixed with 7/8? You can do anything you want to anything. You can make 3/4 and 7/8 just like that. And now let's see here. Let me set this like manual start and stop. See if that changes. Oh. Manual stop. Yeah, there's something going on that's making it still repeat the first. I don't know what's going on, why it's doing the first pattern thing. But it normally doesn't do that. But, you know, every day you wake up your computer. Yeah, it's got this 4/4 measure. There might be something in Unify we'll have to check. But it's yes. So Winfred, you can do any time signature you want. (9/8), and you can put your own samples into this. You can drag, I believe, your own samples. I believe they implemented that. Don't guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing that because I haven't done that myself. Yeah, see that first time it plays, it's repeating the first measure twice. Yeah, it just does it. I don't know why. It wasn't doing that before, so something. But as you can see, there's not a limit to the number of pizza slices you can add. Swing. Very, very cool. Oh, you can load custom samples. Okay, cool. Yes. So you can replace the samples with different samples if you have a different genre desire and want other sounds. Like to do a march, instead of having to do it, notice how this pizza slice has 8 slices, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And if I want something in those other slices, maybe I want that. And then I want this over here, but I want it to be like a big 30-second note fill. So I can just click and drag this and then just paint. And then I want this to be on a triplet over here, so I'm going to make this into 3s. So we'll go triplet. Right? So, it's a different way to look at programming drum rhythms. There's a lot going on in it, and it's just a whole bunch of quarter note pizza slices. Pizzas. Yeah, well, Jason, it's okay. We're glad you're at least joining us here. So it's pretty cool. So that's that Beat Scholar. Really, really, really cool. I'm really happy. He's been working on that for a little while. I was part of the advisory team with him on some parts of it, but he and Orr came up with it. It's really, really cool. Came up very, very nice. Good job, guys. Now, this has been out for a little while, but Heavyocity did a promotion on a piano library that they've had out again for a while. So watch this. When I load Kontakt, even though I'm in native mode for Unify, this still loads, but it's got the brackets around Kontakt because it's loading it now with Rosetta helping with the conversion to get this to work. If I come over here and turn on the browser, they have this library called Ascend, which we will load into Kontakt. And then I have found that once I do this, I have to close and open this to get the Windows screen the size that I want it to be. Go here. No, I want Ascend. This is a piano that is kind of in the family with, I don't know who came first now that this has been out for 3 years, but it's, see, I gotta close and open this. This has piano, kind of piano plus, where there are these different, let's see if we go over here to the sources, there's 16 different things. There's soft piano, there's slightly different recording techniques for 4 different sounds of the grand piano. There's struck, and then there's sustained, which is really interesting. And then they have this cool triangle to cycle between the different areas of the piano and these other sounds. So, right? And then they have all sorts of automated tool ways to do the automation. And then you have different parameters, including reverb, panning, the shape, the tone, for each of these 3 corners that the automator can now like fade between, which is really interesting. So different patches have that little triangle moving and dancing. Right? Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to give this to you. I got a promo code when I got this library that was in my user area. I'm going to share it with you guys. So if you want, It's on sale for $99. This will save you an additional $25 if you use this promo code. So that is the promo code at checkout for Ascend Modern Grand if you want this for $75. The piano's nice. It's a very nice Steinway that they recorded. Now I'm going to go over to the unified version. There's a unified version of this library, and I have put in the link in the video description already for this. Core is where you'll find the piano just as core. Give it a second to, oh wait, did it load? And I'm at Unify Layers, so that's why it didn't change and make sense to me. So go basic, load, and my favorite piano in software, I mean, I love Ivory's pianos, but Noir's Pure is, to me, my favorite piano to actually sit down and play in software. So let me show you that as a comparison. This is just the, let's just call the basic Pure on a new layer. So here's, compare that to the Yamaha. This one has so much more. When you're playing the Steinway in the Ascend library, it only goes so far. Kind of stops right there. Noir has a whole. You can really pop it and get. That level of expressivity is what really. You just don't have that on this Steinway. That's the softest. But it's a different sounding piano, and the two together is great. Especially when you get into some of the other stuff beyond what this can do. The place where Ascend really is unique, and the way Noir is also unique. I mean, Noir just has a killer piano plus unique, right? With Ascend, they get unique because of, there's a couple things in it that are really unique. They have this really cool like rhythm generator. That's doing all sorts of cool things. And they have convolution reverb that's rhythmic that can be used for all sorts of really, really cool effects. So as we go through, let's go to like some of these rhythmic things are just beautiful. The delicate dance and things. See how it's got all these additional elements playing? Muted waterfalls. That's the muted piano. So this is territory that Noir doesn't even really get into. You also have really cool effects over here. There's 4 effects you can click and drag to put these effects. Say that you want the digi reverb here. Put this in. No pre-delay color. It's really, really cool for this kind of sounds. It's very unique. I will say that. I really like the spirit of it for the unique stuff. Right, yeah, it's kind of like Heavyocity made their version of the Nor. If you go to the Nor library, there's also all of these, when you get into the particles inside of Nor, these, might take a minute to load some of these up. Pizzicato sequence. I think it's got to load something in this. Writing on hammers. So Nor is... There's something really delicate about Nor that's nice too. Heavyocities is a little bit more in your face. These rhythmic things are just really, really fun. These soft reminders and stuff. I really like this one. You'll see quite a few along the way that are in keys. And I would put that in here. So like this is G minor, because you need to, if you're playing like C major, it's using this rather interesting chord system here to give you what you need for right? If I play major, it's gonna sound bad because I would need to like make these like that. Now it's major. So you can modify this. I wish I had a pull down for the key. Like you could choose what key you wanted it and set it up appropriately. But if you want to be in C minor, you want to have yours, maybe have a sharp, flat, not sharp, but so you choose these. You choose the timing. So yeah, again, this is kind of the Nor particles engine. But it's really nice. And so I've unified the library. So if you want to pick up a new piano library and you want, it's kind of a piano plus kind of library, is where you will find the most satisfaction if you're working. Where you have cool rhythms, and they have some fun things if I put in fifth. These play fifths or melodic, dreamy melodic fifths. You just play and it adds extra notes to it. So for Piano Plus, it's cool. It's been unified. It's there. So you can play with that. Oh, Artemis is launching in 13 minutes. Oh, fingers crossed. Cool. Very cool. Let's see. What's next on the list? Baby Audio has a new plugin. Let me show you this. It's called IHNY 2. It's a parallel compression kind of a plugin. Let's see. It's over here. Copy this. Go back here. Here we go. So this is IHNY 2. It has an interesting interface. It's regularly $69. You can get it for $39 right now at babyaudio.io/IHNY-2. And this is a monster plugin for squashing and doing really cool characteristic things. Let's do this. Let's go to ChillyPop, which has a whole bunch of really cool drum phrases and stuff in it. Let me show you this with a drum groove. Called something like this, and add Baby Audios. You get that bite. If you want to splat it out. You have tweak controls here, so you can control the shape. That's focusing the bass. But if you want to really slam it, you can get right? So it's, I don't know if this is the best example of what this, let's do this. Let's play it on a full groove. So let's go BPM split. 100 beat per minute jam. Oh, I'm down on octave. Don't forget, ChillyPop is still available, and it's still at its offering on sale price. I think. I need to check. Since I modified my sale, I might have broke it. But if so, I'll get it fixed after the live stream if it's not fixed. Let's see here. Let me just get over here to... I definitely need a second monitor. So for next week, I will probably have a second monitor so that I don't have to do all this. Hey, look at the side of Skippy's neck again, right? Type of stuff. But here, it's called IHNY over here. All audio effects, baby audio. And let's put this before Loud Max so that we're not totally driving everything out. Now, do they have an input gain? I think they do somewhere. Wow, there's something interesting. There we go. There's more splatty. More snappy. Find a nice happy in between. It's got auto gain at 100%, which is cool. Set latch. Hear how it holds the mix. Really nice. So it gives you that. Listen to the reverb pop up. So it's doing a lot of, this is without without it doing the compression pop. Just the reverb just sits there. With this, it's cramming up all soft volume big time. That's cool. So it's a great parallel compression plugin to put edge and that kind of modern production sound to your mix. It's really, really cool. So check that out. I have next a really, really cool rhythmic plugin from my friend Evo at Glitchmachines that is on sale at VST Buzz. Shane saw this. Shane, was it you that showed me this? Somebody, yeah, Shane posted this first, but I don't know who told him about it. But anyway, if you go over here to, that's at the end of the list. It's called Tactic. And what I love with the Glitch Machine libraries is that you get this really, really cool plugin, and it comes with a bunch of really cool samples. And if you just pick up Beat Scholar and you need new rhythm samples, you can use the samples that you're going to hear from this library as sounds inside of Beat Scholar and totally transform it. At VST Buzz, they have Glitchmachines Tactic. It's called a phrase generator type of a plugin. There's probability and some other things inside of it. So if we say init, and if we go over here to Glitchmachines Tactic and call up a patch so that it's doing whole different vibe of drums. You have patterns and you have percentages for what it can do. You have different timing values. Let me just play some of the patterns. So each time you click one of these things, you can choose from all these different samples. And if you hit the question mark right here, you can randomize just the samples. So you might find some cool, weird, like that's pretty close, but let's replace the kick. There you go. So it's really fun for rhythmic things. It's all BPM locked. So if I go over here to say load into a Unify layer, if I go to the BPM drums, they all work. If I'm at 120 beats per minute, I can even load my whole phrase set. Let's go down here to, where is it at? Phrase. How did I organize it? They're down here in phrase. One phrase from each. Just go over here and choose the 120 beat per minute phrases. And there we go. So you can do songwriting. So these phrases from ChillyPop are really great for getting you in the direction of a song. Yeah, so fun stuff. And it all works together. It's all tempo locked. Again, the samples, there's a folder with all these samples in it. So it's really, really cool to add all of these sounds to play with inside of Unify. I'm going to be doing the video this coming week on how to get your samples into Unify. So get ready for that to be dropping probably on Wednesday. Yes, so to get Tactic, as Shane is pointing out, you use VST Buzz, which is owned, I think, by Plugin Boutique, because they give you a promo code that you then go buy it from Plugin Boutique, and you put in the promo code and it's free. So you're paying for this promo code that lets you get Tactic for free at Plugin Boutique. Also, when you install it on a Mac Silicone computer, the preset file won't install. It gave me an error message. And so if you go to the Glitchmachines website, which is, see if I go here. Let's see. If we go, let me do it this way. Glitchmachines, T-shirts, machines. Right here at glitchmachines.com/support. They have an area right here on installation where they talk about, as of May 22, all of our plugins. If Mac preset installers fail on your system, you can download a zip. This zip will give you all the presets for his libraries that you can then place the necessary preset folder into the right location, and there's graphics to show you where that location is. Pretty easy to do at that point to get it to work. It's a little extra work, but the payoff is pretty big because these are cool. One thing I love to do sometimes is open up MIDI box and instead of being 1-to-1, have it halftime. Right? And then have tactic. If you want to do fun things for the shape, the best secret weapon in the house is to use pump house on things, so you can like do fun things like that. Just gets it out of the way for parts, so now it's not just a reverb just ringing out. And if you wanted to, you could say make this halftime so it's twice as long. Have it so part of it's down, and then it snaps up for this part, right? So there's all sorts of fun ways to use the tools inside of Unify to... Right? So cool stuff there. Let's see, what else was on my list to show you guys? Yeah. We include this in the live stream teaching. Okay, good. It's free with... So yeah, what happens, it's free with the promo code that you buy at VST Buzz. So you go to VST Buzz and you buy it. You get a promo code. Then you go to Plugin Boutique. You buy it again. But at checkout, you can use the promo code that you have and get it to work. So it's kind of funny how they did that. All right, last plugin to show you guys in this part of this stream is Crammit. Crammit is an OTT distortion, bring everything up in your face kind of plugin. It's made by Sith Sample. It's free. So here's without it. Just doing a little subtle bring up, but the distortion in it is pretty cool. Here's your gain. So if you want to enhance things and do all sorts of crazy things sonically, this is a fun place to play, and it is free. So that, let me get you a link to that in the chat. Right there. And if you want to see the website for it, it is right here. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Okay, over here. Sith Sample. Cram It. OTT and distortion. Get it free today. It's for OS X and Mac. It works. I don't know if it's a C. Yeah, it is for Intel M1, so it's been ready converted for native support. 7 distortion types integrated into one slider. That's where you have the type, I believe, right here. Without, with. So it's nice. It can do that kind of presence building. I keep looking at my microphone, so sorry about that. And now, like a bad electrical connection. You know, everybody wants to add more imperfection to their sound. You know, computers can get so perfect now that we need to find ways to mess it up. So that is the other thing to check out if you guys want a free plugin. I think that's all I had. I was like rushing through my list to make sure I got through everything, and I've got some extra time left to play, so that's really nice. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that was everything. We wanted to do Ascend, Modern Piano, Baby Audio's IHNY 2 for their compression plugin, which is really, really cool. I think that and Cram It would be a really cool combo to get compress, snap, and then expand it a little bit, add a little harmonic distortion. I'm showing you kind of like extreme with the distortion, but you could also do it with less distortion as well. It doesn't have to be extreme like I was doing. Jason's new library for Omnisphere, which you can get at a great discount. Again, the promo code of capital UNIF and then the number 5 will save you $5 on his library. And Beat Scholar from Melodics is awesome for rhythm. Do you have, guys, any questions about anything in particular? Yeah, I was going to say that IHNY 2 and Crammit seem like a pretty good combination for bringing out character in your mix. And so, yeah, these cool. Yeah. I think the combination is going to be pretty sick for certain types of production and genres and so forth. It's going to be really, really, really fun. Shane's going to make a plugin for total deafness. That would be interesting. Last thing I want to go through is coming out. I think I'm going to try to make it next week if I can get everything done. I'm calling this Mega Magic Pads 1.5. It has all of the original pads from the original library. Plus, I'm up to 7. I'll probably be at 8 additional new pads in unified format. And there's some fun stuff in here. Let's take something that's kind of bright and powerful and all that kind of stuff, like maybe the zebra pad. Lots of real-time controls for filtering. If you bring up filter EG, you get a filter sweep down. Just a nice subtle sweep, and then you set it where you want it to be. Resonance, if you want that. Then you have attack release for the shape of the pad. You have 2 types of reverb. One is a nice reverb, just standard reverb. Which is using Zenverb in a cool way. The other one is called Goosebumps, and this is using octave delays and reverb. And it's available on every pad. And it's harmonic content based, so you can use filtering. So that's really nice to have, even just a little bit. Okay, on the second page is distortion and pump house, so you can distort it with filtering, both pre-distortion and post. So I have it be a little crunchy, and then just bring down the mix. Right? So you have these controls for every pad. So all of the pads, all of the spiteful spirits and strings, these have both a fast and a slow version. So and then the slow version. No, this is not Mega Magic Pads 2. This is Mega Magic Pads 1. I'm bringing it out for Unify. It hasn't been available. Mega Magic Pads 2 is a whole different... This has the 4 components for every pad. That's why I'm calling Mega... I don't know if I'm going to really call it Mega Pads 1.5. I'm just kind of saying that to you guys because I've added all these additional samples, which have even more samples than the original. All of these guys, I think, are 11. No, actually, 6 samples, right? Because there's what was for the original Omnisphere libraries. So all of these are 6 samples. But then these are, I think, 21 samples. Many, many more samples. Retro crescendo. Which has that sweeping in the actual samples. Two different versions of Signs of Life, both pure. And then since I was using FM, I added a little bit more FM. For a little bit more personality. But again, these sound great when you go to the distortion. Harmonic interest, right? Squaretropolis. And then this week I was like, you know, I want my favorite kind of string sound is this. For some reason, I love cheesy Elka. And then there's a wet version, which... go all sorts of nice places. I'm in the process of making some bonus pads for this, and plucks and so forth. So Karina Nebula is beautiful. Right? Working on some BPM pads. Nice soft piano and pads. And again, you don't need anything except Unify for this library, so it's 100% Unify. And I'll make, so I've got more bonus patches to make. This is just getting going. As you can see, there's also synth versions of everyone. So if you go to like Battleborn and you play the pad, wow, pad. And in the synth version, just like the other versions of Mega Magic pads, based on which third-party plugins you can you unify sort the presets. Well, what you can do in that case is you can use this little button here to choose what libraries you want to see. Say I only want to use Razor libraries. Just turn on the Razor libraries, and now those are the only libraries that show up in the list. And now the categories, tags, instruments is based on whatever libraries I've selected here. So if I say just Unify Standard Library and Cloud City, I'm holding down the Command key when I select multiple libraries. Now it shows me those two libraries so I could pick it out. So anything that you have in Unify patch format, now you could select from them things in this way like that to work with, right? So if you say all libraries, it just turns everything off, and now all the libraries show up. So yeah. Cool. So this is a library I hope to release next Thursday, with all of its patches and everything going for it. It'll be at a really nice opening price for everybody that owns already Mega Magic pads if you want to add it to Unify. And it will be a nice opening price for everybody to get more pads for Unify, okay? So that's coming, and yay. If you don't own plugins that some of the presets need, I can tell Unify to not show those presets. Yes, so I've seen this before where some people are downloading unified libraries for plugins they don't own. And if you do that, and then you go, oh, I don't own that library, then you can do this. Select any patch, right-click, say Reveal in the Finder, and then just back up here to Libraries. And there's a couple ways to do it. You could do it the way I just did it, or on a Mac, you can just right-click here and go to Libraries, and then delete the libraries you don't own. If you have a library for Omnisphere and you don't own Omnisphere, boom, put it in the trash. You don't need it. You don't need to download it in the first place, because the patches will only work if you own the library that those patches are tied to. So that should help with that question. Any other questions out there, you guys? I'm going to wrap it up otherwise, because I got lots of synthesizer patches to make. But, oh, I should point out. Lots of discussion going on. If you go to the pluginguru.com website, we have a sale going on because it's Labor Day weekend. 40% savings on everything in the store. So if you go to the products page and scroll down the list, you'll see all the libraries are available at, I don't know why it's got that stuff, but is that because this is small? Yeah, there we go. So a little bit larger. So all the libraries, all 80 of them for the most part, there's a handful of them that are not for sale. The new ones, Patchmaster Pro. Let's see if we go down here to Patchmaster Pro. Where is it? Patchmaster Pro 1. It's not on sale since it was just released. Diva Station is also not discounted because it just came out. So it's at $39. That's the price for the library, which is such a great library if you own Diva. And the ESC Personal Flavors Volume 2. Let me see. Is that found? ESC Personal Flavors Volume 2 is $39. You can get Personal Flavors Volume 1 for $23.40 right now through the weekend until Monday night. Labor Day is Monday, so we'll keep the sale going until Monday night. Yeah, so Shane will try to release this beta, but just to be clear, with him moving and stuff, it makes it a little bit more challenging timing-wise to wrap everything up. It will be another beta version. It's not the full 1.9 release. It's just beta at this point until we know that we have. These are the kind of issues we needed to resolve, which is why I bought a new computer this week, so we could test, find out what these problems are. We could watch them happen. You know, we're in a Skype video chat. I'm showing Shane how it works on the studio, and we can see what it's doing, and then that gives him the ideas how to fix it. Because until a software programmer can see something not working right, they can't fix it. You can say, you know, hey, when I do this, it does that. But until Shane can recreate that or see it happening so he understands what's going on and knows the parameters about your computer, your setup, what you're doing, it's really, really hard to fix. So that's why we got a new computer. That's why we did our testing. Unify is working much, much better on the newer Mac computers because of this last week of testing and getting the new computers. So it's kind of how it works. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to touch what you guys are talking about. Wilfred, you have your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion. Oh, good. Got you good Noisebox last night. Yeah, Noisebox is a very fun rhythmic library. Do I have it in here? I don't have that in here. I've had to be selective with what I install on this computer at this point because I don't have my external hard drive solutions in place so that I can get every library. Oh, I should also point out another library that just came out. I have not unified it yet into the Labs library, but there's a new Labs library. Spitfire Audio. I can show it to you really quickly. It's the vintage drums, as they call it. It's all analog drum kits. They recorded at a studio and it's funny, their snare sounds kind of like an 808, 909 kind of a snare with reverb. Let's see if you go to reverb. Yeah, you can't kill it. That's too bad. Oh, wait, you know what? I take that back. Sorry. I have reverb inside of Unify. There we go. They've doubled the map, so you can play the C's and if you want to do that kind of stuff. So there's a 95 kit and then there's Animal kit. I guess that's their only ride symbol. Yeah, no ride. Why would you have a huge... You need a ride cymbal for that. Well, there's a ride cymbal over in this kit. So what you could do in Unify, because they didn't do it this way, is I like up until the closed hi-hat, so I'm gonna here show you on the keyboard right here. So I'm gonna right click the top range, stop it here and say duplicate, and then I'm just gonna click and drag this so that this starts, and this way I can have this on the animal kit. And then the top half, I can have, let's see, make sure that my low note is right there, and change this to be the, oh wait, the other way, there. Now I have the ride cymbal on this layer from the vintage kit, and then I have the animal kit. So that's one way to get the two kits to work together so you get a ride cymbal. So this is free if you own Labs. So go to your Labs thing in Spitfire Audio application and add it if you want to add it. It's there for the enjoyment if you want. Animal is missed. Yes. Animal. Okay. So I think we are about where we're going to stop for today. If you have any questions, ask away. Otherwise, let's do our shout outs. Let me shout out, if I can get my mouse over here. Shout out from Portland. Camino Island. Last weekend for crabbing. Oh, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't eat crab. It's not a good thing. Chesapeake Bay, yeah. Shout outs from everywhere. Milwaukee, San Francisco. See, I'm watching your stream feed comments and stuff on my iPad, so I could have put it maybe here. So that way I'm just partly looking down. Shout out from Tim Dale in the Wales, UK area. The Netherlands, good to see you, Barry. So we'll be in Los Angeles, just so you guys know, for the Synthplex Synth Expo at the end of October. We will be there showing Unify. So make sure you come by and say hi to us if you are there. Shout out from Japan, Kasaka-san. Arigato gozaimashita, domo. Good to see you. Next week, it will be a little bit different. I'll have two displays, so I won't be looking over here, and I got to figure out my microphone situation because it's not quite ideal yet, but we're getting there. It's been interesting having my iPad as my, my camera stopped showing video feed. I bet my battery died. Let's see here. Good thing I check my stream feed every now and then, huh? Let's see if this gets it back. And survey says, yep, there it is. Okay. There. Okay. Well, good to see you all. Hope this was helpful. Lots of fun stuff to show. My gosh, so much stuff going on in 1 week. I can't believe all the things that came out at once. And new computer and all this other stuff happening at the same time. It's been a nice week, nice and busy. So thank you again for joining us, and we will see you. Yeah, we're nearly there for the next release. Moving Disruption. Yeah, no, I think Shane's in a good place. He's got a cool location. I mean, my gosh. Shout out to all you guys. Alabama. Yeah, Matt, I just saw the video and fixed it. Ian in Ontario. London, Ontario. Wow. See, so check this out. London, Ontario in Canada, and I grew up in Ontario, Oregon, here in the USA, and then there's Ontario in California. That Ontario is all over the place. M-All was taken in Helsinki. Wow, you guys are everywhere. How long can we use the Heavyocity coupon? I don't know. I might be getting in trouble for giving you the coupon to save money. So grab the savings while you can before they turn it off. But I think they sell enough copies that they're all right with giving a few people a little bit of savings. It wasn't a one-time use. I went back and checked it to make sure it works. And so, if you make a coupon like that, it's open to be shared. So for a 2-year plugin, I don't think that's a bad thing. Wow. Shane and Ian are new best friends. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys later on. Take care. Have a great week. I'll let you know next Thursday when Mega Magic Pads has been released. Can't wait for that to be out and about. And then we have some really cool stuff we're working on. So much good going on. So be well. We'll see you later.